Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Zipline Radio. Today, Beasto and I brought you one of our former commanders, still considered to be one of the pillars of the community. Everyone, please welcome one of the HF stalwarts, which I was just told is a pretty big deal, and one of the members of the Hall of Fame, no less, Tistle.
Hello, hi Sam. I'm alright, how are you?
Severely nervous, my heart rate is approximately 120, so...
Yeah, that's okay. It's all good.
Okay, so, gotta bring you all up on the update, fellas. Ever since last time's fiasco, Beasto updated to digital. That's where we keep the list of questions, so I can't rip them apart anymore. Man's taking preventative measures. For now. And still, let me just read that one. Okay, so first is, how are you doing today? But let's switch it up. What are today's events, Morph? That's the more interesting part, because how are you? Fine, that's it. Talk events, Fizzle. What's today's schedule?
In Health Force or in my life?
In your life, if you're comfortable sharing.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Well, I will probably be watching football and rugby all day since there's football on. It's a Sunday and there's Rugby World Cup on, so I spend a lot of time watching that. But I'm sort of waiting for university to start, so next week I won't have the time. But I'm glad we're doing this now, not like in a week or two.
Talk about a good timing, eh?
No, it worked out for sure.
Are you excited for university? What are you majoring?
I'm doing geography, which is like a pretty, I don't know, it's kind of an easy subject, I can't lie, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting like my final year, so I've been through it a couple of times already, so yeah, I'm just excited to get started again, I think.
Ah, that's nice. It's whether people really excited about the whole schooling part, because schooling and education are different, but hey, it's nice to see that. That reminds me of my geography teacher. Man was chill AF.
Yeah. Probably because he just like felt like he just beat the subject and was just so easily to talk about it. I don't know.
Oh, still, he was passionate about it. Like, he really wanted to get into the more practical stuff. That's the rare teachers. Man, I lucked out. Same goes for you, I assume, considering your excitement. So, hey, that's nice.
Yeah, it's been a very long summer. I mean, I've had like 3 months vacation, so I'm just ready to start again now, I think.
Nice. Alright. Let me go on a bit of a loop here and ask, what do you consider yourself? An introvert, extrovert, ambivert?
I would say like I'm not an extrovert, but I'm like much more extrovert than introvert, and I've no idea what ambivert means at all. So...
Basically a mixture of the two.
Yeah, okay, I got you. I'd say like I'm in between ambivert and extrovert. Let's just say.
Nice.
I'm pretty outgoing, so yeah.
That's convenient, that's delightful. So the next question, tell us about yourself, shouldn't be troublesome, because if I was asked that, I just dip. I'm a dip. To clarify, since we got a general idea, more about your history in Help Force is specifically the emphasis here. Like, how were you recruited? What were your first impressions? You know, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had enough time to prepare this answer, so yeah, I was recruited in June 2019, so like over 4 years ago now, which is a pretty long time. It's not as long as like the founding members, because Help Force has been open for like 5.5 years now, so like a decent amount of time. But like I've been around, I've met a lot of people through this server, and yeah, I mean, how I got recruited? Well, I was playing on CPO, which was like the main CPPS that we were using at the time. Yeah, obviously that shut down. Like, was it last summer? I think, or wait, no, not last summer. In 2020, it shut down. My bad.
Yeah. Then we moved to Rewritten, now Battlegrounds. Whew, quite the jumping jacks over here.
Yeah, I mean, for playing CP and just like actually experiencing the old game, CPO was like for me the best recreation out there, just because it just had everything, and it was like the new graphics and stuff. So like I basically saw a bunch of people at school playing it, and I was like, damn, I want to play again. Like I want to be back on the game. So I went home and I logged in. I made an account, and I saw some guys advertising like, oh yeah, we can help you with free stamps. Like they were doing dancing in the town and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'll join that. Oh yeah, it's Discord. Like I know how to use Discord. Let's do that. I joined up, and like I went to one of those to one of the stamp segments, which is one of the more popular little things that happened. We always got quite a lot of new people through stamp segments, and got a load of group stamps, which was great. And I was pretty grateful to the guys who helped me doing that. And I mean, most people, once they've got what they want, they will kind of just leave or forget about it, or like they'll just forget that the server exists, or they'll just leave. Yeah, more or less. They'll get spam pings, and they don't want to stay. I mean, it's an army; it's not everyone's cup of tea. But
oh yeah, it's kind of ironic. The help force started off as all about collecting stamps, but now we can't really do that. Although it's somewhat for the better, because now people who join for the armies, not for the stamps, and when they get them, they dip. So
yeah,
in an ironic way, it's better that the help force isn't all that about helping anymore. If you
I agree with you. It wasn't really a long-term, like stable way of recruiting. And the recruiting segments was, like, oh, join today. We'll help you with stamps. We'll do activities and games and stuff. Well, you can have a good time. You can chat. Like, it sounds great. I mean, but that's not really like long-term. But Hellforce didn't want to appear as like a kind of aggressive army style thing, because there were so many armies on CPO and on CPR. And they're all got the same objective, to recruit as many people to be bigger and just dominate the army scene, and that's fine. But for me, the thing that kept me like interested in HF was promotions. Like, I really wanted roles, I really wanted ranks. I knew how the Discord worked, but I didn't really know like how to become staff in a server, or like I hadn't experienced that, and I kind of wanted to. And Outforce was a nice little environment at the time, and there were some friendly staff members, and like everyone was friendly at the time.
Oh yeah, no, and obviously people are great.
Yeah, and that's the best part, is that if the people at the top are friendly, then pretty much everyone else is going to be too. And I just wanted to rank up, and sadly, like the only way to rank up back in 2019 was to show up on a Saturday and do like the mega events, which I don't know, I think it matched like 60 plus every week, which was, I mean, it was great at the time. Yeah, it was good. It was like, I don't know, top 5. It definitely wasn't top 3, because there were some big armies on CPO, but...
Oh, no, let me tell you, nowadays we get about, 20, 30-ish people. Getting 60 on one of those events is basically mind-blowing.
Yeah, no, well, there's a reason for that, and I can explain a lot more, like, the real reasons why everything's just completely gone down from 4 years ago. It's very self-explanatory, but we'll get to that in a bit. Those events were always on a Saturday, and I couldn't go half the time because I was busy and I wasn't getting promoted. So I went to segments instead. I recruited and I went to stamp segments, and I gained loads of points, which is like what Sapphires are now, I think.
Yep.
I mean, I always wanted to be the Game of the Week. That was always a target, but I never actually got Game of the Week, which is a interesting fact about me. No, I joined at a time where there was a guy called like Morox, and there's a guy called AO, and they both like kept competing for the Game of the Week title every week, and I couldn't really keep up with that.
Damn.
So yeah, like they would hit like ridiculous points. They'd go to every segment. They'd wake up at like 5 a.m. to do some recruiting. Like it was intense. Like people wanted points.
Yeah, the indomitable human spirit. One must imagine Sisyphus happy.
I know, and like it's so difficult to get that kind of like motivation and excitement. Yeah. It's really, really difficult. It's all about the environment, and just having a friendly space, and people want to like flex and show off. Like that's fine. Like it's great. And so, well, I did my best, but like I think I showed a lot of like staff like capabilities. Like the moderators and admins saw me and like saw that I could be a good moderator. So I got promoted to trial moderator within like 2 or 3 months, which was pretty good considering I hadn't gone to many events.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. So as I said, I joined in June, and in July there was a Harry Potter week, which if you were around in 2019, that was like the highlight of 2019. It was amazing. So many people got involved. Like we were maxing like 80 in events on that week. The fun events were amazing. And people know me for the trivia because I'm quite a Potterhead, so I kind of know a lot about Harry Potter and.
Potterhead. Is that like an actual term in the fandom?
That's the term. Yeah, Potterhead.
But the more you know.
And I'm fast at typing as well. So like, Elp I think was doing the questions, and I was just getting a lot of points. I think I was on Team Slytherin, so like it was a team event, so we kind of won by a mile. But that's how I made my name first of all in Hellforce.
No. Now you gotta tell me, what's your words per minute?
Words per minute? Oh, well, around about 110. When I was actually any good.
I can hardly manage a 50. That is impressive. No wonder you kick
Yeah,
out.
I mean, that took like a while of practicing. I know if you practice a lot harder and like are actually talented and gifted at it, then you can beat 110 quite easily. But for me, that was pretty good. So, yeah. But it wasn't about that. It was just about like knowing the answers before everyone, and people were getting mad because I kept winning every round.
Dominating.
Yeah. But that's how I made my name. And once I got moderator, I kept working. I hosted a lot of segments. I went to events a lot more often because I was just more into it. But like at October time, I was second in command. I was what's the equivalent of that these days? Yeah, it's called second in command, isn't it?
Yeah, it is still second in command. Not that.
Yeah, that's what Bisto is, isn't he? Yeah. That wasn't very easy because like I was the first one for like 6 months to get that. So I leapfrogged so many people to get that role. Literally a month after that, I was commander with like 2 other people. So yeah, I managed to get commander in like 5 months, which was really, really fast compared to what you might be able to.
Actually, I'm gonna have we should probably check if that is the fastest time, because boy, we might have a record on our hands.
I have no idea myself, but like for that time it was like unprecedented.
It sounds even nowadays.
Yeah, and you might be thinking, oh, I like bribe people or something.
Not
I must have done something. I was just really dedicated at the time, and I was just like ready to give a lot of time and effort. And no, I didn't bribe Ian Bisto. Come on. He wasn't even around. Ian wasn't even a leader at that point. He'd already given up. Like he was too busy with school and stuff. So it was Spotty and Lottie in 2019 who were leaders. I was commander for like a month. I then stepped down, which sounds so stupid thinking about it, but
I mean, it makes sense because 5 months to get commander, 1 month of enjoying it, and you did.
Yeah, but I was made to
career over here.
No, I know, but the crucial thing is context. That in December 2019, it's a very well-known month in Hellforce history because that's when the CPO exodus happened, and we blew up the last server.
Yeah.
10,000 people in that server, boom, gone. We had to make a new server because the CPO admin took over and we were banned from the CPO, which was always great fun. And we all had our accounts banned, so like we had to move to CPR, which sucked. And I really hated it. And I was really on the fence about not joining Hellforce again and just staying on CPR. And a few staff actually didn't come with us. I don't blame them.
I mean, yeah, CPR really kind of was apart in some departments.
It was just I didn't want to play CPR. It didn't appeal to me. It was a very different game because of just its old look to it, and I get lots of people like that. And that's your opinion.
Nostalgia,
of course.
The same appeal is pixel graphics, but it's not for everyone. It's not what Cult Penguin is anymore.
Yeah, and I had a lot of items, I had a lot of stamps, and I lost all that, and I was a bit annoyed. I mean, it's CP for God's sake, but like,
It's still time. It's work that was put into
Yeah.
it. That sucks. I fully relate to that. When I was on the original Club Penguin, I had like 53,000 coins because I was a little kid with no life or anything really.
Yeah.
So I just grinded like a madman. And when it
Hey,
shut down and went to the private service, it was all gone.
Yeah, hey, I had 1.5 million on CPO. Like,
What?
1.5 million gold. Like, it was pretty. I had a lot of money.
I could only achieve something like that through a glitch on New Club Penguin, which was patched thanks to me. But I did exploit it for a little bit. Got like 200,000 in like 10 minutes.
Coin glitch is always great. I actually got that from a Puffle Roundup glitch, but
Same.
well.
That's exactly where I got it from.
Oh, fair enough. There we go then.
Oh, let's go.
But so around that time, Ian came back because he needed to like get Helpforce back on its feet, and December was a really rough month because we were, recovering lots of members. We lost a lot of people, and it was really difficult to bring us back up. And we went from maxing, like by like October, November, we were getting 80 to 100 every week, and we broke the record one day. We got like 120 or something. It was insane. And we went from that to maxing like 15. Really tragic. And like CPR had already started banning our words. Like they banned the words help and force and recruit, and like it was really difficult to get people to join, and I hated it.
Yeah, everything was working against us. I can only imagine, like, that's not even a tough time. That's just an apocalypse.
It was awful. And I was not. I didn't want to do that anymore. This wasn't what I signed up for. I didn't want to leave, but I didn't want to keep going. So I resigned after a month, which you might think is just like really selfish, but at that time there was nothing else for me to do.
Yeah.
Because Ian had come back, and Spotty and Lottie were still leading, so they had enough leaders. I didn't really do anything. I just sat there, and I wasn't going to sit there as dead weight. I'd rather come back at a better time. So I stepped down for like a month. But then the coup of 2019 happens, and Spotty got kicked out. Helpforce maxing like 5. Genuinely, like couldn't get more than 10 to show up, which was a real low point. So Spotty got cooed, and I got brought back in. And
someone from the grave.
Yeah, I stepped in because I got asked. Yeah, I mean there was Moon, who was around in 2019, 2020 as well, who was like a moderator, and she got promoted. And I was just told by Ian, like, you can come back now, or like the opportunity will probably go. And basically, I need you. And I couldn't turn my back on him then, so I picked it up again, and I stayed commander for between February till August, so like 6 months, and got quite a lot done in that time. So there we go. I realise I might have rambled on that first question. So I've only done one question.
That is wonderful. That is a lot of. That's a lot of context. Also, just to say an excellent segue, because here, watch this. Your return, or the fact that you prevailed through all those trials and tribulations, is that what you consider to be the achievement you're most proud of as a leader? See what I did there? I segued into the third one.
No, I like that. No, there are a lot of things that I did as a leader that I don't think many other people could have done. And there were 3 things that for me that when I reflected back on it when I retired, I was quite proud of myself. And the first one was taking Helpforce to the Legends Cup final, which was, by the way, back in the day, was really, really difficult to get that many people to show up every single week. It was, we went from like 30 to 60 in a matter of 2 weeks, and we're beating armies we shouldn't have been beating. I can go into more detail about that later, but another thing was my staff team in like April and May was really, really difficult, and really like it was a challenge to be the leader of a staff team when none of them like reacted to what you said, and they all messed around, and they were like, I don't know, it's like, the US chaos hours, but like amplified and completely out of control. And I was asleep, so I couldn't do anything about it at the time. I just wake up and there'd be chaos every morning. And
It doesn't sound like a good morning to me.
I was putting out fires left, right, and center, and I know that's what a league is meant to do, but I'd had enough, and like my staff just weren't being staff members, and I had to turn that around, and that was a really big deal for me. And another thing was I like revamped a lot of the server because it was basically a carbon copy of the CPO server, and I wanted to change quite a lot of stuff, like the roles and I don't know, just the general feel about the place, because it had changed a lot in like the space of 6 months, and it wasn't heading in a great direction. Like, sure, we were getting good numbers. Like, when I retired in August, we were still getting like 60 or something, I think.
Damn.
Which was great for like CPR times. Like that was still really good.
But
And
still didn't have the help force atmosphere to it, I assume.
Yeah, like it was slipping out of my hands a bit, and I needed a bit more like authority, I guess. You know, I was the only commander at the time, because I think by that time Moon had resigned, and I was basically just like losing the army around me, and trying to.
It makes sense. I mean, considering that the alpha is for you to put out and what the not, you still need the authority to actually do that. Otherwise, things would completely go off rails. Makes sense.
It like if you've never been an admin of a server, and by extension the only admin in your server with like 1,000 people chatting every day, that's a really difficult position to be in. And I know you could say like, oh, just hire another admin, but that's not how it works in Help Force. Like, you have to actually earn your promotions, and
I mean,
no one at the time was ready for it.
Yeah.
So I had to just like keep everything under control for like a good 2 months period before I actually got like another 2 admins, because like they were ready for it. But it was really like difficult, let's just say that. And having to balance like the entire army scene as well, with like there was an army league, there was the top 10 rankings, there was a war map, like I'd have loads of other armies like asking me to help them in their battles, and like I don't know, like people would DM me asking for ranks as well, and like it was a lot to handle all of that time. I was on Discord for I know it was 2020, so like during the COVID pandemic, but like I was on Discord for like a solid 14 hours a day, like easily. That easily.
And again, it goes to show, like, you got a reputation. That is genuinely impressive. Like, getting the army's that is the piece of the cake. Yeah,
I mean, it's tough to really describe, because the way Discord has changed so much, but and the fact that we're not in that pandemic anymore. So like numbers are never going to be that, like, it's not going to be that crazy ever again, I don't think. But it was like super madness. Yeah, like. No, but like if everyone's stuck inside and they're bored as hell, and like they just want to like mess around and blow off steam, and like they would just do it in the server, and the mods would just like mess around with roles and promote random people, and I don't know, it was just so silly.
Oh yeah, no, it was hilarious when shenanigans like this would happen. Also, best way to blow off steam, to be honest. I'm surprised people wouldn't just go and like play Doom and kill the hell out of demons, literally. No,
yeah, I mean, if
penguins.
If you've got friends in the server, then what? Like, you just hang out with them and chat with them, and like do VC parties, and I don't know, just like mess around. I don't ask me, but like, it just made everything a lot harder. Let's say that.
Well, I mean, you've witnessed a lot, and I mean a lot. Like very high highs, very low lows. So. You are the one best person who I think I could possibly ask about what you think the future of the Hellbows will be like. Where are we now? Where we got to go?
Good question. Well, I've been to like a couple of events in the last like few weeks. I've been like having a little monitor, see what's going on. Hellforce doesn't get many numbers anymore, do they? Like 20 is pretty good, I guess.
30-ish. About that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been to a big event. Like, I think the last like massive one was like the Legends Cup, like a couple of months ago, whenever it was. I was unavailable at the time. I would have come if I could, but do you know how much they maxed in that?
Nope.
No? Okay, never mind. My point being is that, like, in the last year, and it's nobody's fault, let's just say this is just how the game has gone. It's no one can affect this. There are less people playing CP. Period. Like, there's nothing else you can say. And there are less people in the server chatting away, and armies are dying out as well, slowly but surely. Numbers are going down in every army, and every army's going through the same thing. The biggest ones, I don't really know the big armies right now, but I'm guessing RPF and ACP. It might be big. I don't really know what's around anymore, to be honest.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I'm counting on that.
Yeah, is Templar still around? Like, that was a big one not long ago. I need someone to send me the top 10 or something. Like RPF, Water Vikings, ACP, HF, EGCP. Oh god, EGCP. Didn't really like them ever.
Oh, careful, Mike.
Elite Guardians of CP. Yeah, but my point being is that everyone's having the same, like, downward trends since, I don't know, I'm guessing it's been going since 2021. And
yeah, but since COVID started to, not be that much of an issue. It's just less time.
Yeah, nobody can be at fault for this. Like, there's nothing more you can do. You can spend all the time you want recruiting on Discord, like getting people. I noticed the Force Arcadia merge thing that happened recently. Great, but like, is that gonna like get lots more people in? I don't know. It's not really going to change the trajectory of the army, and that's fine. What's important, even if we can't do events anymore on CP, it's still a server to socialize in. If you got friends here, why not? And the ranks would probably be changed to have different names, and it'd be a lot more like chill until there was like an opportunity where armies kept going. But like, I don't really know the true state of armies right now, because I just don't really. I haven't really followed it, and I haven't really been in the know for a while, so it's tough to say.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I completely understand. And yeah, I mean, the entire Club Penguin Army thing, for the moment I saw it, I was surprised that something so niche and specific could have such a following. And in hindsight, it makes sense that it'd be so big because of COVID and, people needed something to do. But even still, as big or as small as we are, it's very obvious that this is more of a cult following type of thing. And
yeah, no,
they're big about die-hard fans who stick around for like a ridiculously long amount of time.
People forget that armies started on the original game like in 2006, 2007. Like, ACP was one of the very first, if not the first, and it's been around for 18, 19 years or something, I want to say. I don't know. It's probably like 17 or something. But anyway, they've been around forever, and some people have been in that army for like most of its life, and that is scary.
Dude, I am 20 years old. You're telling me that a Club Penguin army of flash mobbing digital penguins is almost as old as I am?
Yeah, they've been around since the game came out, pretty much.
I'm gonna go like, just curl into a ball in the corner and think about this. That is breaking my mind. Yeah,
like, that's the kind of stuff you just don't know until you've been here long enough and you've just picked up on these things. Like, but I mean, ACP did a big, like, 15-year event, like, I think it was 2 years ago, because I remember it, so it must have been, like, about that time, so, like, that was a big deal for them, and I know Helpforce has only been out for, like, 5.5 years, as I said. That's still quite a long time for an army that hasn't closed in that time. That's great.
It shows
it was never, yeah, it was never on the original game, it only started on CPO, so, like, for what Helpforce is and what it was during CPO, when it didn't really offer anything more than stamps, that's a really, like, successful army. I think lots of other people in the army community acknowledge that Helpforce is one of the surprise stories that's ever happened.
Well, I mean, considering all those troubles that are befalling all of Club Penguin armies and all of that, what would you advise the current staff to do? Like, what's the direction, the next move here?
I don't know how many staff right now.
10 max?
10?
Give or take, if we're including juniors and whatnot.
Yeah, fair enough. I've had a look at like the server insights, and yeah, like numbers are going down. But that's fine. Like it's not a problem, and you shouldn't get bummed out about that. All you've got to do, staff, is just keep a happy environment all the time. Be active. Chat to new people that come into the chat, and like, yeah, just be nice and just be welcoming to people, and like give people a chance, even if you don't know them. Get to know people, even if they've been there a while. Just, I don't know. Things not to do. Don't be I was gonna say stuck up, but I don't think that's the right term. I just just be kind and just like.
Don't be caught on the authority part.
Yeah, it's tough to say because there's only so much you can do. But if there's a happy environment in the server, and I know that getting numbers to show up to events is really important to keep the army alive right now. But like, don't become really, really, really like pressuring people especially the new people to come, because they won't come and they'll leave.
Yeah, don't make it look like a chore, basically.
Yeah, and that's always been the case, and we've fallen short of that over the years. Like the amount of pings that have gone out in the Elfort server, you know.
Yeah.
You could add them all up and you could reach the moon. Like it's that many pings.
My one was doing an experiment on that one. We're gonna have a little compiling to see what distance, divisions, all that. It's gonna be some basic math. I say because I'm not gonna be the one doing it.
But most importantly, have fun, because like I don't know how long Hellforce is gonna stay open for. It could stay open for another 5 years. It could not. But like, just have fun with the friends you've got now. Try not to lose them, and just if you are gonna leave at any point, then just like let people know and stay on Discord and like be able to talk to people if they want to talk to you and stuff. Like otherwise you just lose friends, and I think that's what the whole point of Discord's about, is just to make friends.
Oh yeah, no, obviously, like I've had friends from other servers, niche communities and such, and like those communities have fallen, but I'm still staying friends with those people, just moving on to something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, what's the point? You've wasted a lot of time, and you've not really made much about it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can fully relate. I made this friend on a server about a Roblox recreation of Yu-Gi-Oh! And, like, we're out of that server, and I was just doing Dungeons and Dragons, Minecraft, or other general stuff. Like, just stick with the people. Yeah, speaking of friends, since we've been talking about all the, trials, tribulations, all that, how about a little silly goof, a story that's gonna get one cracking up. What's the silliest thing you will witness to, like, crazy shenanigans in the server?
That's a good question.
So a guy walks into a bar, and it hurt.
Classic. I would have to say, like, I didn't really like when the Chaos Hours happened. I didn't really join in. I don't know. That wasn't really my kind of amusement. I kind of just like ignored it all. I preferred the VC parties. I mean, back in 2021 and 2020, like the VC parties we had were like wild. I don't know what else to say. We had some classic tunes on, and I know Elp and Juanita will be able to, if they're listening, will know exactly what I'm talking about. Those were some of the best days. Yeah, I mean they weren't exactly funny, but they were just fun, if you know what I mean. Like it was really enjoyable. Like especially after you had won a battle against another army and you just wanted to party for a bit. That was
well-earned victory, well-earned celebration.
Yeah, no, exactly. And we celebrate, like when I was commander, we celebrated victories so hard, and I'm sure you guys do now, of course. But
obviously, like even when we don't win, we still just throw crazy parties because well up.
Like I think my generation that led this generation to party so hard because we were that like hyped every time we won a battle, especially a battle we weren't expected to win, which happened more often than not. We would party so hard and we'd spam the chat and it would be vibes for like the next 2 days non-stop, and it was great.
Yeah, let's just say our suppliers of cookies are currently swimming in both types of dough. Get the supplies for those parties. Speaking of, you did mention a lot of differences, not just in the numbers, but in the structure of the servers and whatnot, some of which you've influenced. So, I'm gonna combine both questions now.
Okay.
Number 7 and 9. So, let's say you're standing before the Senate. You know, wearing your robes, Chancellor Palpatine, like,
Oh my god.
yep, just like, to ensure security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire. You're in charge. If you could return anything to the way it was like 1, 2, 3 years ago, back to 2019 if you want, what would you want to come back? And don't say the numbers. Don't say the numbers of active members. That doesn't count.
No, for me, the nostalgia of 2019 Outforce was the stamp segments and just CPO in general. Like that, it was such good vibes at the start when I started out, and CPR was a very different energy. If I could bring back CPO for the game it was, and I know it had terrible stuff, I'm not defending that. But if we could have that game with all the numbers that it had, it would be great. But that can't happen. So that's a bit sad. As far as the server goes, honestly, like the server as it is right now, I wouldn't change very much if I was Luda, because like it's how it is, and people are happy how it is. I'm pretty I've got no complaints myself, and I don't know if anyone else has, but like I don't see a problem with it.
I assure you, we're putting enough money in people's mouths to keep them quiet about any complaints.
Yeah, like I mean, I do miss the old ranks. I'll be real. The ranks now, I do find a bit confusing. Like they're like we've got like Commodore, Colonel, Major, Captain, First Lieutenant, Second Lieutenant. Like they're a bit confusing for me. And I know there's a list and stuff, but like I don't know if they're in like the real order in like real life, which makes it a little bit more challenging. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like it's
a
if I was joining, yeah, if I was joining the server right now, I'd be like really confused. What the hell's going on? Like I'm just scrolling down the member list right now, and there are so many ranks. I have no idea what any of them mean. So I'd probably simplify it a little bit more. Because back in the day, like, we pretty much all knew what was going on. Like, there was, like, a whole channel and it told you everything you need to know about all the ranks, how to get them, and that was, like, very easy for me to know how to get higher up in the server. And I don't know if it might be, it might not be, but, yeah, I think a little bit, like, more of a way to know what's going on for a new member.
Yeah, so it doesn't get overwhelming. It has to be easy to approach but hard to master, you know, kind of like Team Fortress 2, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there was an entire channel that told you how to get those. What, like you need to do a backflip and say Beetlejuice 3 times at 3 a.m.?
No, as in like a little like FAQ kind of thing. We used to have an FAQ, and it told you basically like any questions you had. Like we had all sorts of questions about armies and battles, but also the server, like roles and how to get things and how to get staff if you wanted to become staff, and like basically just like anything people ask all the time had the answer in FAQ. They just had to find it, and I don't know if that's the case anymore, but like
I mean, I don't see an FAQ channel, but then again, I suck at finding them, so Beasto might correct me here.
Like for me, that would make a big difference if I was looking to get into a server, like, and to get a few ranks in a server, but didn't know how to do it and didn't know, how to get I was a bit nervous and I didn't really want to ask anyone, so I kind of wanted to just find it on my own accord.
Yeah, kind of same. I had to overin myself and start immediately overachieving a little bit here and there to start, getting some recognition here and there.
Yeah.
Taking a bitch out of your work in a way, because, I mean, Commander in 5 months, again, doesn't get any more overachieving than this.
Yeah. I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, I guess that makes the question about your favorite role redundant if they're so convoluted.
Well, my favorite role is a good question because the roles have changed a lot. Like, they've changed 3 or 4 times, like complete revamps. But back in the day, the highest helper role, which was the roles you could get from like doing recruitment segments and stamp segments, you could only get like 3 roles, and they were amateur helper, pro helper, and veteran helper. And veteran helper had the most beautiful dark blue, like, I don't know, it was such a nice color. I don't know what to say. It was so nice, and it fitted just my name so nicely. And I was always targeting veteran helper every week, and it was like 1,500 points, which was like, I don't know, maybe 10 segments, so like 10 hours of work for a week, which it wasn't even that much, because I do like three segments a day easily, and you know, that was like fine, because I was just messing around with Discord all day anyway, so
might as well, you know, contribute to something.
the old Gamer of the Week role as well, it was called Gamer of the Week Moderator, and it was like bright green, and that was a really flashy role, and I always wanted that, but I never got it, as I said, so, but that was a good role too.
Yeah, now that you put in the color on the table, I understand why you'd want it, but also a fellow appreciator of blue, I shake your hand, I salute you. Good.
Yeah,
Blue is
love
best
blue.
color. It's the meta. Don't at me.
It's quite similar to the but for reference, it's quite similar to the Commodore role right now, which it's not quite the same blue, but it's very nearly there. But it might sound a bit like boring, but that's my favorite color. So.
Oh no, I
There we
totally get it. Also, hold up, Beasto saying you blue, and I gotta find a video to slander him with. Gotta hit him with one of the boom. Yeah. All right, so this is the final question, unless Beasto cups up some more, which can happen at any moment. He's just a looming threat over me here. I mean, you've already given advice to the commanders, just the people in charge, but more of a just general message, no specific like guideline for it to be advised or anything of the sort. What would you like to say to the fellas? If anything, like you can just say F off, and that would work.
No, that would be a bit easy though, wouldn't it?
I mean, no one said it had to be difficult.
All I'd like to say is just like keep it up. Don't lose hope, even if like everything's looking negative. And I realize it can be negative and it can be difficult to get numbers. Just give your all, and whatever happens will happen, and it's not your fault either way. So yeah, just like never give up. And as I said, like as a general message to staff, like keep your friends and don't lose them, and you know. Just like have a good time when you're in the server, because if you're not having a good time, there's no point. You might as well just give up now. But do it for the people who like the non-staff who are out here, who are just here to have a good time. Do it for them.
Sick. All right, that was really heartfelt. I love that. And honestly, a really good message to take away. Again, focus on the people, not the numbers or the army, because that's just disingenuous, I could call it.
There are priorities.
Oh yeah, no, obviously, like you gotta have your priorities in order, and you know why you're doing things, and not just for the Club Penguin armies, just in general. It's a good piece of advice. Anyway, first of all, thank you for coming here. This was wonderful, truly an educational moment about the history of the Help Force. I am a lot more familiarized now with stuff, until I inevitably forget it.
Thank you for having me on. It's been great to chat about this stuff again. I haven't like thought about most of this stuff for a while, so this is a nice flashback for me too.
I know, I can tell you were reminiscing over there, and honestly, it's kind of infectious. Got me excited, pumped up about the future. So nice, and honestly, enjoyed your company. Not even because of the script. It was just nice to talk with you, man. Want to talk again?
Yeah, you too.
Time? No recordings
You
this
too.
time, so I can swear as much as I want, because I am a sailor in that regard.
I tried my best not to swear, and I don't think I did, so I did pretty well.
Yeah, I got away with one single F word there. Bisto might have to do a little.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Quick bit of editing.
You should have seen the notes about the first episode with Snowy. He did give me a warning, and yeah, he's gonna chase me again with the revolver. I feel Tistle, please protect me.
Oh well, you'll be fine.
Protect me, I'm hiding behind you. Anyway, alright, so fellas, thanks for watching, and I'm a runner, I'm a goner. Bow.